If it's too late to worry and you're too blue to cry, then get ready for Dr. Lori Roth. She's a Ph.D., black belt, host, singer, songwriter, mom, gun owner, survivor, and red-blooded American through and through. From 3,000 feet up in the mountains of Washington, it's the Annie Oakley of the airwaves. Ready or not, here she comes, Dr. Lori Roth.
Well, this is fascinating stuff. We have a gentleman who is also in this battle who is called in who would like to weigh in, gentlemen. Carl Swanson has something to say about Georgia. Carl, thanks for holding and calling back. Carl Swanson, yeah. Carl, come on in.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi.
And,
I
just picked it up, so I'm not sure what went on before me.
Well, George and Gary were talking about New Hampshire, what was going on in the fraud of that. And tell us what's going on with Georgia.
Okay, everybody's been paying attention here in Georgia to the point where we were listening and awaiting the announcement that the candidates were going to be on the ballot. And when it was announced, and I believe it was on like November 9th, I heard it going to work in the morning on a radio station that doesn't get much play, and it never appeared in the paper. It never appeared in really any of the mainstream media. But I immediately got started on that and formulated my own challenge. I talked to Kevin Richard Powell. He did his, and Millard Blanchard, he did one. And unbeknownst to me, there was a couple of other people paying attention, David Weldon and David Farrar. David Farrar is going to be represented by Orly Tates. Kevin and myself are going to be working with an attorney here in Georgia who's going to be taking it up for us, and we'll have an announcement for that that will be let loose by the Art2 Super PAC.
Can you hold over the break for a second and finish up?
Sure.
Okay, we'll be back in 3 or 4 minutes.
No, this is not American Idol, so keep your shirt on and keep your powder dry. Dr. Lori Roth will be back in just mere moments. Her name is Dr. Lori Roth, and here she is again, right now.
We're talking with Gary Wilmot, George Miller, and then we have a caller from Georgia, Carl Swanson. Carl, this is a short 2-minute segment. Go ahead and finish your thoughts on what's going on in Georgia.
Okay, it is official today that there are five people involved in the ballot challenge here in Georgia. Their names are David Farrar, David Weldon, myself, Kevin Richard Powell, and Millard Blanchard. Kevin and I are going to be teaming up with a local lawyer to get this done. I'm not sure if Millard is going to be teaming up with David Farrar and Orly Tates, and David Weldon, I believe, is going to do this pro se and work on his own, but we'll all be feeding information to one another. So the bottom line is this is going before a panel of judges. In this case, one judge is going to be looking at all of these. The announcement for who is going to be representing Kevin and myself, I'm hoping that my attorney can get the press release done tonight, and I can get that out, and it will be released by Article2SuperPAC.com. That's Article2SuperPAC.com. So be prepared. That's coming out, and we're ready for this fight. And this bypasses all of those bugaboos that the previous cases have had, and that is standing. Okay, we don't have to worry about that anymore. We are going to get there on merit, and that's going to be part of the record, and we are, regardless of how this goes, if we win, they'll appeal it. If they win, we'll appeal it, but it's going up the line right now.
Hold on, we'll be back. Thank you so much, Carl.
No, this is not American Idol, so keep your shirt on and keep your powder dry. Dr. Lori Roth will be back in just mere moments. Her name is Dr. Lori Roth, and here she is again, right now.
Yeah.
Tell us also, another amazing move you guys have made is the Political Action Committee that's being formed. What is that, and why do you need that? What is it?
Well, the Political Action Committee was a germ of an idea about 5 or 6 months ago, and a small group of us, we're 5 or 6 strong. We got together and we met weekly via the internet, teleconferencing, and we were scattered literally from the East Coast to the West Coast. And we decided that there had to be a vehicle to educate the American people as to the meaning of what is a constitutional president. This muddying of the waters by the left and even by the establishment media and the establishment Republicans that are trying to be power brokers and maintain their power base and push us to the side. The American people need a clear understanding of what the Founding Fathers intended when they put that clause in there, natural-born citizen. So the Article 2 PAC is designed to, it's basically dedicated to the development and organization of what is basically a virtual army of patriots whose mission is to ensure that all citizens and elected officials clearly understand the true meaning of presidential eligibility as intended by the Founding Fathers in Article 2, Section 1. We're not partisan in the sense that we're going after Obama specifically. We have identified, as many have, at least in the Internet community, that Republican hopefuls and future stars Marco Rubio and Bobby Jindal are not natural-born citizens. So we're not playing favorites. We want the Constitution upheld. We want the supreme law of the land to be the supreme law of the land. We don't want these people, these corrupt judiciaries and corrupt politicians telling us their interpretation of the Constitution and changing the fabric of our country and it literally transforming, as Obama would say, America. So we worked hard on this for many weeks, many months, and we have put together the website, which I mentioned to your listeners before, ART2, the number 2, superpac.com, and we rolled out our website just a couple days ago. So I encourage everybody to go there and see the website. There is one feature that is particularly compelling, and that's the page that goes through the Article 2 facts. It lays it all out for anybody to can easily follow what is meant by natural-born citizen, the background behind that clause, the Founding Fathers, the exchange of ideas, the fallback on Vattel's Law of Nations, and the history of the Supreme Court cases, etc., that buttress this definition. There is also information about the various attempts by the Congress to change the law behind the citizens' backs without a constitutional amendment. And we even see that in April of 2008, the Senate actually passed an informal resolution, Resolution 511, where they actually reiterated what the Founding Fathers said, and they said that the definition of a natural-born citizen meant that the potential candidate for president or vice president must be born of citizen parents, and yet they didn't. They did that so as to qualify John McCain, and they didn't look at Barack Obama. So I mean, it's just a farce that we're in this situation right now. It's a
complete farce, absolutely a farce. We have Carl Swanson, who has joined us again. Carl, are you there? Oh, he didn't. Oh, I misread that. Never mind. Carl is not there.
By the way, Barack Obama was one of the sponsors of Senate Resolution 511. Interesting, huh?
Right. But one of the things, to really sum up the purpose of the PAC, is to build a grassroots army of patriots to educate and inform the American electorate and the local and local, federal government officials across the country to educate the Electoral College, which apparently doesn't know what their responsibilities are, and obviously the members of our government, the United States Congress, the Senate and the House, as to the true meaning of a constitutional presidency. That article has meaning. Those words have meaning. There's a grandfather clause in there that clearly is a tip-off that a natural-born citizen for president and vice president is something totally different than just a regular American citizen. The Article 2 PAC is going to be a force to come. We're not just in it for the short haul, we're in it for the long haul. We're going to educate the American people. We're going to put out videos, seminars. We're going to provide funding for people that want to do ballot challenges. We're going to be a force to be reckoned, and we're determined to let the American people who have been betrayed by their government and by the education system to really find out and learn for sure what is meant in Article 2, Section 1, when they reference natural-born citizen. It is not native-born citizen. It is not naturalized citizen. It is a unique characteristic that only applies in the Constitution to the President and the Vice President of the United States, and we've got to stop this.
Yeah, it doesn't actually specifically apply to the Vice President of the United States in the Constitution, but you can derive it because the main function of a vice president is to be understudy for the president. So it would be foolish to put someone in that position who is not a natural-born citizen for that reason. And we have one other major mission we're going to try to phase in for the PAC too, and that's legal support. We have two very heavy-hitter constitutional attorneys who have been helping us in putting this together that may join us as staff advisors, and they will be available to provide help in building cases, in reviewing different paperwork, and advising other attorneys out in the field. We do not intend to attempt to compete with other people out in the field doing that, but rather to provide them supplemental resources of case law, boilerplate text to be used in different motions, and possibly helping them with case strategies and possibly more than that.
Lori, we also need lots of volunteers. We need people to help us get the word out. So if anybody wants to help with our Super PAC, they can contact us. The email is on the website. We obviously need to raise funds. That goes without saying. This especially this legal help, it does not come cheap. But it is for a good cause. That cause is to preserve the Constitution of the United States and get our country back. And like I said, we're in it for the long haul. This isn't just a campaign that's going to stop with the election in November of next year. We are there to make sure the American people, once and for all, know the meaning of natural-born citizen.